it's Bianca and I am back, and I just wanted to make a quick video about how I study for the NCLEX. So let's get into it. So I like I said, in my previous videos I graduated from the University of North Carolina in Greensboro, and they offered, when we graduated, they offered the Kaplan course, live course, and then they also offered the Hurst. Originally I purchased the Kaplan, but because I'm a veteran, they call it the Veteran Access Program, due to private funding, they were able to pay for our Hurst review, which was a blessing. That's why I suggest all veterans look into UNCG Greensboro. Their Veteran Access Program, which is their VAP, is amazing. I could make a whole video about that, but that's going to be in another video because I love them. UNCG VAP, V-A-P. Look them up. They are veteran friendly, awesome school. So basically, a live review is basically when a nurse or a nurse instructor will come and basically go through 2 years of nursing school or a year and a half of nursing school in a week, 5 days. So the week after you graduate, you think, yeah, I graduated. Okay, you graduated. That is an awesome thing, but now it's time to prep for the NCLEX. So that's what the Hurst was for. So the Hurst program, little book. I'm not authorized to go through the book or give anything out in the book, but I did at least want to show you guys this book. So this book basically is all filled out and everything. This book basically, after you pay for the program, and I believe the program may have been, most programs are close to $250 to about $300. It's a lot of money, but in my personal opinion, it is worth it. I absolutely enjoyed the Hurst review services. It was amazing. Hurst review is very, very good with the content of nursing school. For example, some of the things that we went over was like med surge, advanced med surge, trauma, emergency services, neuro, cardiac, the gastrointestinal system. All of that was covered, plus more. So in my other video, I stated that I believe that if you are going into your senior year of nursing school, I would recommend going ahead and taking the Hurst and getting that, filling out your book, because that book was very good with pathophys. Like I stressed in my other videos, pathophys is very, very important in your senior year of nursing school. It's important in general, but when you get into that med-surg advanced, which is like your ICU patients, knowing your pathophys is amazing. So Hurst, if you can get that, if you can try to take a review course, whether it's the online one or the live one, somewhere, anywhere, I would take it and just have it. It's never too early to start prepping for the NCLEX. Some of the things like your senior year, if you take Hurst before your senior year, some of the stuff you may not quite understand, but I guarantee you right when you get into your nursing program, your med-surg class, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it. And you may actually do better on your exams than the people that didn't, like myself. I also, note cards. I cannot stress enough note cards throughout nursing school. I'm gonna make another video on how I studied and how I got through nursing school. And I gave y'all some tips before, but I'm gonna actually make a whole nother video about that. Note cards, note cards, note cards. I have probably 1,000, if not 5,000 note cards just everywhere. I've donated some. I just have them around. Note cards and Hurst. So basically, I have binders and binders and binders of nursing school material that I, every class I kept binders and binders. I wouldn't recommend going back through all of those binders because you don't really know what's going to be on this test. So honestly, go through whatever prep you have, go through the prep. That book was really all I needed. Go through the book, do exactly what they tell you to do. If they tell you to study this section and then come back the next day and know this section, do what they tell you to do. Hurst was very good at telling us, okay, the day before your test, make sure you go over this, these tips and this and that and this and that. But that's really all I did. I did Hurst. I was actually very afraid that there's going to be a lot of pharmacology on the test because I didn't take pharm. For my cohort, it was not required for us to take pharm. Even though some students did, I didn't. I kind of sometimes I wish I would have, but honestly, I still passed NCLEX. But on my personal test, I don't feel like there was a lot of pharmacology on there. But at the same time, my test may have been different from other people's tests. Honestly, it just all depends. You can talk to your instructors, you can talk to your advisors, any nursing mentors, and ask them what you should do. And your school may actually require it. I know in NCLEX, I think I probably had a stress ulcer. I don't really know. But all I can say is I was super nervous. I prayed, I studied, I prayed. And, and some people will tell you, don't study before you take the NCLEX. I mean, I think you have to do what's best for you. Me personally, I kind of did go over some stuff. I still went over no cards because I'm just that type of person. Some people can go into tests without studying the day before. Even in nursing school, I studied the day before a test, probably all night. And I tried to get some sleep, but I was still nervous. I get really nervous when it comes to tests, whether it's physical fitness tests, my military people out there, or whether it's staff sergeant tests. I still studied, the day before that. Same thing with my NCLEX. I still went through the book. I may have over prepared, but I'm just that type of person. And if you're like me, there's nothing wrong with making no cards. YouTube definitely helped me. I think SarahRN.com. I'm sorry, Sarah RN. That's her YouTube, I think. I know a lot of nursing students that use her. I used her. She has really good videos about pathophys, the cardiac system, just anything. If you go to Sarah RN YouTube, she is freaking amazing. Pharmacology. She has pharmacology videos. Yeah, so like I said, my Hurst book, and note cards and YouTube definitely helped me get through the NCLEX. Now, to talk a little bit about the NCLEX without getting myself in legal trouble, the NCLEX was probably the most nerve-wracking test I have probably ever taken in my life. How can I explain this? It was a beast. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to, and you have some people that walk out like, that was easy. I just didn't. I graduated, with honors. I made pretty good grades. I made pretty good grades in nursing school. I did pretty good in nursing school, but when I got to that NCLEX, it's like, whoa, what? So when I walked out of the NCLEX, so when I went into the NCLEX, I sat down and I prayed. And I prayed that when I got to 75, when I clicked to 75, that my computer would just shut off. And the reason why, they're going to teach you in nursing school how the test is kind of set up. So if you get 70, so the minimum questions you can get on the NCLEX exam is 75 questions. If your computer cuts off in 75 questions, you either did amazing or you, and when I say amazing, I'm just like amazing, or basically you did you did enough for the NCLEX. They call it in Hurst review the NCLEX lady. You did enough for the NCLEX lady to say, hey, she's okay to be a baby nurse. We trust her. So she passed in 75. She's okay to be a baby nurse. If you didn't pass in 75 questions, so if your computer cuts off in 75, that means you passed or you didn't pass. So the NCLEX lady thinks, okay, I just don't think she's ready to be a baby nurse. So you can get 75 questions and pass, or you can get 75 questions and fail. Okay, just say your computer after 75, your computer can cut off anytime. So if your computer cuts off at 86, you're like, I would have probably been even more worried because mine cut off in 75. And when I walked out, I said, hey, I'm watching people kind of leave, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of empty in here, and you have, I think, up to 6 hours, or I'm not sure how many hours you have, but you have abundance of hours to get through. I think the max questions is 275. So you have abundance of time to get through the questions, which you don't want to rush, but you don't want to sit there and second guess yourself and waste time on questions either. So mine cut off in 75, and when I walked out of there, I said, I don't think I killed my patient. But I don't feel like I did really good where my computer would just shut off in 75 questions. So honestly, after 48 hours, that's when you can get your unofficial results. I was nervous. I mean, I felt like I did good, but I didn't feel like I just didn't know. It's just one of those tests where you just don't know. It's not like a nursing exam, or, I mean, in a sense, it's like a nursing exam depending on your school and who writes your test, but you know, it's not one of those questions where it's like, what is this? A, B, or C. No, you have a patient scenario. You have a 67, this is just me making this up. You have a 67-year-old patient who has this and that and this and that and this and that. What do you do? Or what's your like priority questions? Like, remember in my last video, or my second to last video, I said prioritization. I may be saying that word wrong. Delegation prioritization was like, that's like a big deal. So like you had questions like that. I mean, you just had all types of nursing school questions, like nursing school in one test was like it. So basically, you know, mine cut off in 75. I found out 48 hours later, and you can pay an additional, I think $7 or $8 online to get your unofficial results, or you can wait and not pay, and you can wait like, I think it's like 4 weeks to get your results. I wasn't waiting 4 weeks. I was about to board a cruise with my sisters and my friends, and we were about to just have a good time. So before I boarded the boat, I got an email saying that your results, you know, if you want to pay for it, you can. And I found out, and we had a ball in Mexico, because I was not about to sit there and like not know what I made or how I did on this test. So 75 shut off. So when I hit 74 and I hit 75, my computer just shut off and it did like survey questions or whatever. So that was a blessing. But you can also go all the way to the top. Now, if you go all the way to 245 questions, it's just like really hitting, I mean, it's not like hitting 75, but it's like, in a sense, it's like, okay, you can still pass if you get 245 questions, but you can also still fail if you get 200 and, I'm sorry, I think it's 275. It's the max. You can still pass if you get the max questions, and you can still fail if you get the max questions. I mean, it's really up to the computer. So basically the way it works is you'll get a question, and if you get it wrong, it's like it does this teeter-totter thing. It's like you get a question wrong, they'll lower it, and then if you get that one wrong, they'll keep, and the questions get easier. But if you get them right, then your questions go harder. Okay, I got that right. Harder, harder, harder. You really don't. It's not like you got a check marks in. Check, I got it right. On my test, I kind of just felt like because if you get a lot of select all that applies, that usually means you're doing good. But select all that apply questions in nursing school are hard. Like, and then with the NCLEX new rule now, like it can be one question that select all that apply. Like, so you have a question that can be A, B, C, D, or E. It can be all of them, or it can be one of them. I mean, it's hard. So I was getting like a lot of select all that apply questions back to back to back. And I was just like, okay. And then when I felt like, I'm like, oh, I don't know this one, I got one that I kind of sort of knew. And it just kind of teeter-totter. So by 75 questions, if you hit that that baseline where they feel like you're safe to be a practicing nurse, you pass. But you don't know that until after. So that's why I say this NCLEX is very nerve-wracking. So that's why you have to take the time to study. Some people, after they graduated, they immediately took their test. Maybe a week later, maybe a couple days later. Me personally, I took the Hurst review, and it's honestly up to you. If you feel like after you graduated and you're that type of person that just want to go for it, I am not going to stop you. I'm never going to be the person to tell you like, hey, you just graduated, don't take the NCLEX. Do what you feel. Do what's in your heart. If you feel like you don't want to pay $300 to do it, then don't do it. That's up to you. I just know mine was funded from through the BAP, so I definitely took the Hurst, and I also was going to pay for it regardless, because I just wanted to make sure I just did everything in my power to pass this NCLEX on the first try. So I took the Hurst, made no car study. After the Hurst, so we graduated, literally just say we graduated on a Thursday. That next Monday was Hurst all week. So you're basically back in school after you graduated. And then I would say I gave myself about 2 weeks to just, I wouldn't even say cram, to just study, review the Hurst, not my nursing notebooks, not, you know, if I had some note cards from nursing school that was, you know, I felt like I can use, I definitely went back. That's why I save everything. I feel like I'm a hoarder. I'm gonna put a picture in here of my like organized now, because when I was in nursing school it's not organized, but my organized bookshelf, but I have binders of every nursing class I've been in, books, everything. And now I did rent my books in nursing school. I did buy some, but I didn't buy all of them. But yeah, so sorry y'all know I ramble. I be trying to make these videos short, but sometimes I just want to I'm trying to give y'all all the knowledge, because someone can ask me tomorrow and I'm like, I don't know, you know. So I just want to make sure I'm getting it all out now. So yeah, Hurst, note cards, and I even had, I'm not sure if I showed you guys this book, this NCLEX review notes. This was definitely a good book. Like it has like immunizations in there, all kind of stuff. You can even, like, I took this to clinical with me, so it helped. It's always at your side, NCLEX RN notes. So that was a good book. But Hurst was amazing, note cards, and just, I took I would say 2 or 2.5 weeks to study. Then I took my test, because I didn't want to drag it on. And with the military, the NECP program, you have 45 days after you graduate to complete your test, because now you have to go to COT. And now, you know, the Air Force is like, okay, we need you, take your test, pass it, we need you. So I was just like, okay, I don't have much time, but you know, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I took my test and I was done. So I really hope this video helped you guys out without me rambling for 20 minutes. I really hope it helped you out. Like I said, you have so many different NCLEX review services out there, but the one that I use and I recommend would be Hurst Review. They were very good on content, and like they also teach you about like how to read the question and how to like not second guess, and how to just, they're very big on, if you know your content, you shouldn't have to second guess your answer. If you know this patient has a AFib, what, you know, just they're just, if you guys, I'm trying to like give it to you without giving it to you, they're just really good on like content. So if you know your content, you should know this answer. I mean, yeah, this answer to this question. So I hope this video helped you guys, and drop a comment, drop a like, share this video. Let me know if you guys, because soon I'm going to be going off the cot, so I'm not going to have too much time to make videos, but let me know now what type of videos you guys need from me while I'm still here. I'm basically like a virtual mentor, so let me know. All right, you guys, take care.